Good evening, Thomas the Hermit here, and I have got to say that I have something very important to rant about. I have listened to many people over the years. I have seen many reactions to many different things. I have seen people act and respond to different crises that are happening within the church. And I really do have to say that I am extremely disappointed in the laity. And I want to talk about it. I want to open this up. I want to ask the question, if you are God's army, exactly what kind of army are you? A rabble? Probably a rabble, because you're not much of an army. What you do most of the time is you flirt around all over the place on the internet, and sometimes you elicit an opinion, but most of the time you are just simply very angry. And your anger gets directed in every direction. It seems to have no focus. It seems to have no direction. It seems to have no purpose. And this is what I have seen in what you thinking that you are doing something by flirting around all over the net and maybe every now and then registering your complaint. And this very much confuses me. Because if you're such the great defenders of the church, then what exactly are you doing? What exactly are you doing? So my challenge to you today is that you really don't know anything except complaining. You have no response. Many of you don't listen to the Lord very well. Many of you do not know the Lord very well. Many of you think that resistance is hanging out in social media and learning the latest conspiracy theory. And some of you think that it's all about the Latin Mass. And you talk all about the Latin Mass as the entire church is rotting from inside. I really want to know exactly what kind of resistance this is that you think that you are mounting. You think that you're mounting a resistance by anger that is directed at everybody and everyone. You think that your resistance is mounting because you support Donald Trump. When we think that about Donald Trump, and yes, I vote for Donald Trump and I want him to be president, but when we think about Donald Trump like he is the key, but he is not the key. It is the church that is the key. And as the church goes under and becomes a failed institution in providing a moral compass for the world, this is the greater threat than whether Donald Trump becomes president or not. And you've allowed the church to decay, and you hold no responsibility for it. Why is it that you hold no responsibility for what you are doing and what I am doing within the church? Why is the church in such bad shape? We could say, oh, it's Pope Francis. Well, yeah, Pope Francis is one of the reasons. It's the German bishops. Yeah, the German bishops are kind of messed up too. And then there's a lot of other bishops and priests that are messed up. But what about the messed up laity that allowed themselves to be led down a path of unfruitfulness? What about a laity that doesn't pursue holiness? What about a laity who really doesn't hardly even understand the Bible? What about a laity who all they do is go to Sunday Mass and maybe every now and then might pray a single rosary? What about that? Now all we have is a bunch of lay Catholics running around, bitching and moaning all over the place, who do nothing, whose anger is directed at everyone. And I really don't understand the emptiness of everything that you are offering to us. You're offering nothing to Mother Mary. You are offering nothing to Jesus and his Holy Catholic Church. What is it that you are really all about? That is my question this evening. What is it that you really amount to? That is my question this evening. What is it that you actually do? That is my question this evening. I would suppose that maybe you don't even want to hear the truth. You don't want to see how you have contributed to the downfall of the Catholic Church. The state that we are in, requires holy people, it requires saintly people, it requires you to step up and start living the life that you are called to live. And you say, well, how do you do that? That's what I've been trying to teach you for the last 6 years. I've been trying to lead the way and show you what to do over the last 6 years, but you ignore anything except the wheels in your own head that are spinning around. I do not know what good it is. All of this anger that you have that's directed everywhere, that someone should get angry at the situation of the world is a good thing if you direct your anger towards those that deserve your anger. But you do nothing. I exhort you to stop being lazy, Sunday, do-nothing Catholics. I exhort you to apply yourself to a real relationship with God and not just a religious one. I exhort you to enter into greater intimacy with God so he can direct you and lead you and show you what must be done in the times that we are in. I exhort you to stop blaming everyone else and start looking at what you are not doing to save the church on a personal level. What kind of a Catholic Christian are you? I exhort you to live your life in the way that Jesus needs you to live your life and that Mother Mary is calling you to live. And I exhort you to learn how to direct your anger in an appropriate way. Archbishop Sheen said that the anger of the Christian needs to be directed at our own sins. The anger of the Christian needs to be directed at our own sins. What is the violence of the man of God? To fight against himself. Why do you think that you're such importance and big and such an important part of the resistance of our age? You are none of those things. You can be those things. You can be called to a higher purpose. You can live out a higher purpose if you would only learn how to hear the Lord speaking to you for real. If you would respond to his voice, if you would learn how to pray, if you would open up an understanding of the great doctors of our church. What does the Latin Mass have to do with you being holy? It seems to me that as holy as the Latin Mass is, it's not rubbing off very much on you. The Lord needs an army. The Lord doesn't need wimps. It doesn't need empty people who can't do anything. He's looking for soldiers. What are you? This is Thomas the Hermit. Say a prayer for me. I am praying for you. I'll talk to you later.